All right. This is live. If you guys can hear me, please let me know. We will get this started. Appreciate y'all waiting. We have an interesting race for Michigan today, but I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully the rain stays away. Last I saw, looks like about a 50% chance of rain from 4 to like 7. I believe we're in Brooklyn, Michigan. So I gotta pull that back up. Brooklyn, Michigan weather. Yeah, looking about the same. Although now at 2 p.m. it says 42% chance of rain. So let's just hope we can get this going. Let me pull up my stuff here. All right. Hunter says, Jules, hurry up on the makeup. We got locked in an hour. Yeah, I know. I can't spend too long in chat today because I still have to build some of my MME lineups. We got the single entry hand building stuff. Jason says, didn't even hit the comb today. I know, my bad. My bad. I had to hurry. Had to hurry home from the gym. Says it's looking okay up here right now. I'm sure I feel like there's so many people from Michigan here, so I know they are in my Discord. So we should have a good grasp on the weather today, hopefully, but hopefully it stays away. Based off of Google weather, I'm seeing a 42% chance of rain from 2 p.m. to like 7 p.m., which is awful because that's the race time. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, and don't ask me if we should build for a rain shortened race, if we should, like, I have no idea how that would change any type of building, so don't ask me that, please. All right, I'm gonna scroll up here. I'll get to every question that I can. Really quick, Hunter, I did see that comment. Says, I was the gym skinny. Trying to get as big as you, Hunter. I can only try, though. Definitely lagging behind. All right, so my thoughts from yesterday's video really haven't changed much. I know I said that almost all the guys up front feel like the same play besides Hamlin and Truex. Hamlin and Larson. And that's kind of the same. I would say they're definitely in tier 1 as far as the dominators are concerned. And then in that tier 2, I would most likely have it as Tyler Reddick, Chase Elliott, William Byron, Chastain, and then Ryan Blaney. They're kind of like all just a mix of tier 2. And I guess you could put in Christopher Bell in there as well. Martin Truex Jr. really isn't in that same category, starting all the way back in 24th. Although crazy enough, I did not think he'd be the favorite to win the race. In some places, he is the favorite despite starting 24th. I know qualifying were not earned positions, so I guess I get it because in the short practice session, he did have the fastest overall car. I'm not sure how much you want to put into that practice session, considering Hamlin was like 30th, 22nd. We know he's fast at these types of tracks, but a lot of the cars you'd expect to be fast were fast in practice, so I understand him being one of the favorites, but I still have Hamlin and Larson finishing 1-2 in this race. And the PD plays kind of a lot. You have Keselowski, Truex, Buescher, Gibbs, Bowman, I think are all excellent plays today. And then down low, Eric Jones, AJ Allmendinger, Ricky Stenhouse are the ones I'll be giving to the most as far as cheaper plays are concerned. So we'll get into tournament plays, we'll get into cash plays as we go through it here, but I kind of have a somewhat tight pool, pretty heavy on the drivers I like today, and then spread out somewhere else. But I got dinner from Chris Jenkins, as always. I really do appreciate that. He says, do you think they're going to be 2 or 3 drivers, or 3 to 4 drivers that split the laps led, or will there be like 1 or 2 DOMs? We usually see quite a few dominators at these types of tracks. I really don't think one driver is going to run away with the entire show and lead like 150 laps. I would say that's an unlikely scenario for today, but I mean, you can never really rule it out. I'm not exactly sure how Michigan will end up playing out today, but I would say we probably have like 3 to 4 guys that will split the laps of some sort. I'd say the most likely candidates will be Larson, Hamlin, Reddick, and then after that, like those are the 3 I'm really most confident on to be able to dominate. After that, I don't know. It'd probably just be a bit of a guessing game there, but I think we know who the candidates for that are. But I appreciate the know, sir. So, like, as far as roster construction, you're not trying to jam in like 3 dominators in your lineup because there's only 200 laps, 140 dominator points. It's just not as important as it'd be as like a Richmond. So getting 2 of those guys, I think, is perfectly fine today. Generator, first one here. Although I did see a message from Johnny T earlier. For some reason, it is gone. I'll get to that, which I can already assume what the question was. It says top 5 drivers to win the race. For me, my top 5 is Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., Tyler Reddick, and then Ryan Blaney. And that's probably, the first 4 are probably on par with most people, although I could see it being a different order. I think DraftKings now has Larson as the favorite, and then Truex second, Hamlin third. which I have that 3, just not in that order. And then Johnny T, he always asks me about FanDuel cash games, so I'm going to assume that's what that message was. If I am playing FanDuel cash games today, I would start with Martin Truex Jr. number 1. I would want Chris Buescher in there. And then I'm probably throwing in either Ty Gibbs or Brad Keselowski. I think it's a good core to start with for cash games over there. AJ says, thoughts on Keselowski, Reddick, Truex, Wallace, Haley, and Jones. If I drop Wallace, I can grab Buescher. If I fade Keselowski, I can sub Elliott for Byron. Tough scenes. I mean, if for me personally, I would rather have Buescher over Wallace. I'd want to keep Keselowski in there, so yeah, if I could, I would rather go Buescher over Wallace. I know the ownership's going to be much different, but I do think Buescher's a better play overall. Theo says, Truex will log out, no slander, please. Look, I have a ton of Truex today. He's my highest owned driver. He's in almost all of my lineups, but we have been logging out quite often this year playing Truex, so I am prepared for the worst. Because it's not even really Marty's fault. Like, it's just, he gets screwed every single week, whether his engine explodes for some reason or just some idiot runs into him. I mean, he's just had so much bad luck. Isaiah says, don't forget to like the stream as you come in. I agree. Helps me out a little bit. He says, Larson, Truex, Gibbs, Buescher, Jones, and Allmendinger on DraftKings. How's that look? Are you like I'm buying on FanDuel? Thanks, Chris. I think that's an awesome lineup, Isaiah. Love Larson, love Truex up top, and then really balanced. Gibbs, Buescher, both guys have top 10 potential. Eric Jones has top 20 potential. Dinger maybe more so top 25. Short practice session, but the quality cars did look good. So I just think it's a really good lineup. And Byron's playable on FanDuel. That definitely like him there more so than DraftKings because he is really cheap. Got a donut from Gab here. Appreciate that. Says, did they bring wet tires? I'm going back to bed. Yeah, we're definitely using the wet tires in Michigan. I'm sure that would end well with no issues whatsoever. And for the record, last I saw, Bob said no one to the rear. We did get an update from Race Weather on Twitter. It says rain showers are about 30 miles north of the track. This was 40 minutes ago, he said. Moving at 25 miles per hour. Will arrive prior to 2:30. Scheduled green flag. So according to him, we might have rain before the race starts, which will suck. So just keep that in mind. Obviously, you can't 100% predict weather, like we 100% can't predict the NASCAR race. But based off the radar, yeah, there's definitely a lot of scattered showers coming towards the track. And reading some of the comments here, it says potential for a late start and a race to 8:20. So hopefully we don't have like another timed race because I hate that so much. So yeah, obviously that wasn't the most encouraging thing to read because I didn't see that till just now. So just giving you guys updates as much as I can. If you haven't already, follow Race Weather on Twitter if you want some more info. All right. Jim says, hi, Chris. I'm only playing 3 lineups today. I have Larson, Bell, Byron, Bowman, Gregson, and Haley. Thoughts? It's a little different for sure. I'm not the highest on Belt. If this was a short flat track, yeah, Bell every single time. He is so good. I know he had the speeding penalty last week, but man, he was still like absolutely insane. I'm not huge on him this weekend, so it's not my favorite lineup. Rob Dar says, hey Chris, what do you think about Ty Gibbs to win outright at 28-1? I have Ty Gibbs. I wouldn't do it personally. I'm -1% on that. I don't think he's going to be bad, but I don't think Ty Gibbs is going to win the race. My only bets today, it's basically all in Denny Hamlin. I bet this on like Wednesday or Thursday, whatever it was. I have Hamlin to win at +650, which, yeah, starting on the pole, I felt good about it. I wish he was a little bit faster in practice, but whatever. Top 3 at +190, and then top 5 at +100. All those numbers have moved in my favor, so I mean, I can't complain, but I'm sure something will happen where he finishes 6th in this race, and then I'll complain later on Twitter or something. Aaron says, hey Chris, happy race day. Happy race day to you as well. Thoughts on Gibbs today? Any interest in going Gregson over Jones for a few lineups to get off the Jones chunk? I do like Ty Gibbs today. I especially love him on FanDuel, but on DraftKings, he's a great play over there. One of my higher owned drivers. He is in my main single entry lineup. And Gregson over Jones, I mean, projections won't like it, but you know, projections aren't everything. I have Gregson projected at like 26.04 and Jones at 31.23. So obviously that's certainly in Jones' favor, but it's only a kind of 5-point difference. So yeah, I mean, if you're doing randomness, I'm sure I'll get to some Gregson today. So Because you don't want to play 100% Jones. I'm okay with that. And Gregson is, that 6 to 7K range isn't exactly the greatest. I do like Stenhouse. I like Jones. Everything else isn't amazing. So Gregson would be the third guy for me in that group. Are we chasing place differential today? Says Raphael. Seems to look like that would be the best strategy. I have a decent amount of place differential. My FanDuel single entry lineup does not have anybody starting closer than 15th, I believe. And not that I think it's going to be a wreck fest. It's just, I'm not exactly sure who they're going to be the top dominators. There's not as many laps this week. And if there's rain issues and we just jumble stuff up, I don't know, I felt like the better approach for me. I'm not playing like all scrubs. Don't think it's a wreck fest. But like you can play Keselowski, Ty Gibbs, Alex Bowman, Martin Truex Jr. All those guys are starting 15th and back. And they can end up in the top 5, top 10. Chris Buescher even. So it's not like it's the craziest strategy this week. And I'm 100% mixing in these guys that can dominate, like Larson, Reddick, Hamlin. They're in my lineups. I'm just saying a lot of my lineups are those guys starting at 15th to like 25th. Because keep in mind, they did not earn those qualifying spots. They earned it, well, they earned it last week, but last week has nothing to do with this week, considering Richmond and Michigan don't add up. See, Hamlin, Truex, Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Jones, Haley, Largefield, GP. Do you hate this lineup, Chris? Or who do you hate in this lineup? I think you kind of know who I'm probably going to hate in that lineup, Kyle Busch. He is definitely better at these larger tracks, but even then, this year, he is not. The results still have not been there. We have an 8-race sample size of Michigan Next Gen and 2024 Intermediates, plus Pocono and the Brickyard. And Busch still just has an average running position of 22nd. 3 top 20s in 8 races. It's been a brutal run for Kyle Busch, man. Morning, Stan. Favorite GBP plays today, says Max. Really like Tyler Reddick as a pivot off of Larson and Denny Hamlin. They're going to be much higher owned, and you can probably get him at about half the ownership. And Tyler Reddick has been awesome at these types of tracks. Again, 8-race sample size we're dealing with for the tracks that I'm looking at. And the only drivers that have more top 5s than Tyler Reddick is just Denny Hamlin. And he is tied with Ryan Blaney and Kyle Larson for the most top 5. So he's in good company. He's got, I believe, the 3rd most fast laps. So he's been extremely fast. He's going to have track position. I do think Denny leads over him, but Reddick should be a contender for the most of the day. And if we're looking at the tire combination, I believe it's Texas and Vegas they're using this week. Tyler Reddick also has the fastest green flag speed numbers overall from those 2 tracks. Honestly, I think he could have won Las Vegas if he could have got around. Forget what happened. I think if we had like a long run, Reddick would have won, but there might have been a caution at the end. It's so long to go Vegas. But Reddick honestly could have won that race from what I remember. Pretty sure I live bet on him too. He finished 2nd. And then Texas. I only remember Chase Elliott winning, and then I think my guys died at the end, but Reddick was fast in that race too. So he should be fast today. And I forgot the rest of the question, but Rosh Chastain I think is one of the better tournament plays in the mid-range, starting in 7th. We know at these types of tracks, he tends to be pretty solid, and he's just so cheap. FanDuel is $7,800. DK $8,100, and if he can stay within the top 8 and steal some fast laps throughout the day and finish there, like $8,100, that's not bad. Good morning, Sean. What's up, Obi? What's up, Zachary? Says Larson, Truex, Gibbs, Brad Keselowski, Stenhouse, Jones. Do you see any glaring weaknesses? No, that's a really good lineup. No problem with that at all. We had a great birthday, Sean. Sounds like you had that soon. Hopefully you had a great vacation. What's up, Ryan? Says, hey, what's going on, Chris? Who are the 2 to 3 chalk must plays today? I really like Truex, really like Eric Jones, Allmendinger. Those are like the cheaper plays, and then you can fill in the rest. But I like those guys as the chalk and 1-2 cheap guys to help make the build. Yeah, I like AJ Allmendinger, Eric Jones as cheap guys, Ricky Stenhouse. Looks pretty good. Those are the ones I would use down low. I was trying, Hunter. I was trying. Sam says Byron going to be a sneaky tournament play. Was fast in practice and has a bit more PD than Larson and Hamlin. He was fast in practice. Again, I am not sure exactly how much we should put into practice. They kept starting and stopping. It was a short session. Daniel Hemrick had the 6th best overall times. You know, I don't think he's going to be the 6th best card today. We'll see. I mean, some of the guys up top are guys you wouldn't be surprised to see. Chase Elliott, Truex, Larson, Justin Keselowski in the overall lap times. Byron came in at 10th. I think Byron's okay. I like Byron more on FanDuel personally. Very, very cheap over there. Definitely had to get some moose on. You know it. Dustin says, this your full-time gig, Chris? Currently, yes. I do appreciate you guys being here. It helps me do that. Have more time to work on NASCAR and whatnot. We have football coming very soon. Very, very soon. Oh boy. Let's see. White says pickleball is dumb. Oh man. I don't even want to answer your question after that, White. I don't even want to, but I will anyway. It says better finish Chastain versus Truex, Elliott versus Logano. I have Truex over Chastain, and I believe I have Elliott over Logano. I do. But pickleball is not dumb. It's very fun. Very, very fun. Pick one, Barry or Cindric. I believe I have Cindric higher. Just a little bit though. Says he had Logano in a line, worried about taking him out. I am not huge on Joey today because I just feel like similar finishing position upside to guys like Buescher and Ty Gibbs and whatnot, and they're just a little bit cheaper. They offer more place differential upside. Joey usually isn't the best at these types of tracks. They bring more speed at the shorter flat tracks, these large intermediates. Like, he's not terrible. He's not finishing 20th every race. He usually runs around 15th. He's got 11 top 15s in 16 races. 7 top 10s. Like, he's not garbage. He's probably going to finish 10th to 15th, most likely. But that's not amazing at nearly $9,000. He's like a slightly worse version of Buescher and Gibbs today, in my opinion. Darren says, Brad Keselowski, Bowman, or Gibbs and Buescher for DraftKings GBP. Man, I like both of those. I like all 4 of those guys so much. I would probably have to go... Oh, boy. I like the Keselowski Bowman route, just because Keselowski, I think, has the most upside of all those drivers. He's like the one, I think, of those 4 that could potentially get up front at some point. He's just been really good at these tracks. Hello, Lena. Happy race day to you as well. Chris, always late like me, must have sleep apnea. Yeah, you always got to be fast when you're late to things. How much dinger is too much dinger? I think dinger comes in mid-30s in ownership today. So really, it's more of a personal preference thing. Probably wouldn't want to go too heavy. Like, probably wouldn't want to go more than 50%. It's gonna be hard for him to like kill you today, though, starting as far back as he is in 35th. He's definitely my best point per dollar play outside of Truex. Appreciate you, Obi. Sharp as always. What's up, Daily Dynasty? Good luck to you as well. Watch this be the week Kyle Busch wins. Man, if Kyle Busch wins today, I don't even know what to say. Or tomorrow. Decent chance this race could end up finishing tomorrow, whether we start or not. I'm trying to see if we have another rain update. Let me check Bob's Twitter. See what he's. Bob loves the rain. I've never seen someone that loves radars more than Bob. I guess we were at the tweet up. All right. Posted a radar thing 4 minutes ago. Says looks hit or miss, but more hit for something. How much is the big question? Yeah, based off that radar, it's there. It's coming. So we'll see. The worst thing is, and it happens all the time, is when we start doing pace laps on the track, even though we know it's going to rain. Everyone knows it's going to rain. We just start doing pace laps. DraftKings, FanDuel, they lock the slate. And then we call it red, then we race the next day. And we have to look at locked lineups for 24 hours. I hate that. Sean says, Coach needs a job. Yeah, absolutely does. If anyone needs a job in this chat, it's definitely Coach. Daniel says, happy race day, Chris. Happy race day to you as well. Took a bit, but was able to cut my pool down to 18. But Bell being my first left off. Is he your preferred fade out of the top guys? Risky, I know. Yeah, I would say this week Bell would be my preferred fade just out of these guys. I know there's a lot of downside to that because we know how good Bell has been this year, but this is one of the tracks where I wouldn't be as worried about it. If this was Richmond starting in third, yeah, we got to get exposure. If it was Phoenix, we're not doing that. But at Michigan, there's just guys that are usually faster than him. I know he was amazing at Charlotte, but it's usually the likes of Hamlin, Larson, Tyler Reddick we have seen this year. I'm confident in them being able to dominate instead of him, but don't be too scared if he gets up front at some point. I do have Bell leading close to 20 laps today, but with his projected finish, it doesn't make sense for me to have a lot of them. Hunter says, would you be in Michigan from the country for a full-time Ryan Newman? If that means Ryan Newman can replace Austin Dillon 100%, we can get rid of Michigan. Absolutely. I wouldn't see the downside in that. I don't actually hate Michigan that much. I'm from Ohio, so I have to hate Michigan. I know from Michigan, I do apologize, but I will sell you off if the price is right. Jason says, Chris, I'm landing on too much Truex and Stenhouse and 3 Max. Any pivots? Thanks for the great content, and I hope Austin Dillon gets shingled. I like it. I like it, Jason. I forget what the question was. Oh, Truex and Stenhouse and 3 Max. Yeah, if you're pivoting off of Truex, I mean, Keselowski could be a pivot. I know he's $1,000 off, but he starts 9 spots further up. Like if Truex just finishes 17th today and Keselowski finishes 4th, I mean, yeah, you definitely want Brad Keselowski. That's certainly possible. You know, bad things happen to Truex all the time. They pivot off of Stenhouse, Jones in that price range, AJ Allmendinger, although they're very chalky. If you're looking for a lower owned option. Dinger's 56. Projection wise, there's not one really that close, but John Hunter Nemechek and LaJoy would be the next up for me. Can we full send Noah? Well, I know you want to. I actually don't hate Noah today. I mean, he's starting 25th. I am finishing 22nd, but it could definitely be worse. Like he's almost a 4x value almost. Oh. Jake says Truex is the fade, not Bell. I don't know. Not for me, but obviously Truex has had many issues. So if Truex wrecks today and finishes 34th, I will not be surprised in these. Not at all. It's going to suck though if he does. Are you playing Dominators today? Stan yells at me. I am, yes. I mean, you have to. Like I know a lot of the good plays are starting mid-pack, but you can't ignore the guys that lead laps. Like if Hamlin finishes 6th today, leads 51 laps, he's scoring you over 60 fantasy points. Like you're going to want that. Crystal Ball Fantasy says Dylan win this week to make last week all for nothing. I hope not. I hope not. We never need to see Austin Dillon in victory lane again. If we never had that caution, he could have had a great story, but the caution did happen, and that happens a lot. So you can't just say that, you know, Austin Dillon, he should have won. Like there's a lot of guys that should have won before, but cautions happen, and you have to be able to win the restart. That's part of NASCAR. Part of what makes you a good driver. And Austin Dillon's not good at restarts, and he got cooked by Joey, and always saw what happened. So yes, I know he should have won, yes, but a lot of guys should have won before, and you just got to manage the entire race. He's not good at restarts, and he showed that. Palma says, Chris, if I bink the Chrome Horn this week, I'll buy you 2 tickets to next week at Daytona. Well, I am definitely rooting for you, DePalma. That's for sure. I'd love to go to Daytona, especially for the fall race. That'd be definitely really fun, just because of playoff implications for sure. Got done from Heater, appreciate that. Says thank you for the MLB sheet. Cal Rayleigh home run, free money. Buy Oakley something nice. Maybe Larson and shoot. Did he homer already? Or did it even start? Or are you just calling a homer? Let me see. Yeah, really 2-run shot. So I'm glad that helped you out, Heater. Appreciate the donut. And yeah, maybe we get Oakley a toy. Got it done from Brandon Roberts. Appreciate that. It says DFS, Truex, Reddick, Elliott, Byron, Stenhouse, Dinger. What you think? I'm scared of the last 2. I'm not scared of the last 2. Like I know they're a couple of goobers there, but I mean they're just kind of have to go down that low this week, and they're the 2 obvious options I would say. So yeah, the rest is fine. Like Elliott, Byron, Reddick, Truex. I mean all those guys are studs. So, I mean issues with it. It's definitely more GPP centric because you have Elliott, Byron in there and Reddick. But still think it's fine. Appreciate the dono, sir. Battle Bump God says, should I stack 1, 2, 3 and play Truex? I would not do 1, 2, 3 in this race. I don't think I'd do 1, 2 either. There's really not that many laps for me to want to do that. And I would say all 3 of them dominating and paying off and finishing top 3 is unlikely, so I wouldn't do that. I would say one guy in the top 3, and then if you want to get like someone starting else in the top 10 with Truex, that's fine. Melissa says, is Chastain a good pick today? And if I had only $8,100 left, is he the best? Yeah, I have Ross projected the best out of that group. I have him projected to finish just inside the top 10. He is only $81 starting in 7th. Didn't give him too many downer points. Looks like just around close to 9 laps led, a few fast laps mixed in there. At his price point, I mean, yeah, I'm definitely in on that. If you didn't want to go with Ross, I would go with Bowman next, but Ross is just edging him out because he's getting some dominator point love, and Bowman is not. In Stenhouse versus AJ, I'd rather play Allmendinger personally. Get a few spots further back, and their upside's pretty similar, I think, at the end of the day. Yeah, there is no wet tires, if anyone thought I was being serious. All right, let me see any other updates from Bobby. Let's see, let me check race weather here. What's he got? There's also another page called Ryan Newdorf. I think that's how you say his name. NASCAR _WX man, weatherman. But he has not posted since July 21st, though. I guess we can't rely on him today. All right, David says, Byron Elliott or Stenhouse Reddick, small field FanDuel single entry. I'd rather go the Byron Elliott route, personally. I don't love going with the scrubs too much on FanDuel. I do have Eric Jones today, though. But the first 2 have a lot more upside. What's up, Charles? Happy Sunday, Chris. My bet is on Reddick this week. I wouldn't be surprised if Reddick won. That's for sure. Wouldn't be surprised. What's up, Kyle? How does Bell look? Plus 1,300 on the DraftKings Sportsbook. I do not show value on that. I'm at plus 1,850 if I was going to bet Bell, so I am under on that personally. I actually think all the odds are terrible right now. The closest thing I would be to betting at current odds are Reddick at plus 1,000, but even then I'm still showing negative on that. I'm at plus 1036. I mean, the odds are just terrible this week. And we have a lot of unknown. Rain, Monday race. Are we going to start and stop? Is this going to go halfway? I don't know. I have no idea. What's up, Jalen? Says Gregson, Gibbs, or Keselowski, Stenhouse, or DraftKings single entry. I'll go with the Keselowski and Stenhouse route, personally. Jake says seatbelt to victory lane. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to rule it out. I do have that happening 5.1% of the time, so that's how much I would agree with you. Hello, Ms. Jules. Happy race day to everyone. Go Hamlin. I agree. We definitely need Danny to win this week. Got to make up for Joey last weekend. At least finish in the top 5. I'll take a top 5. That's all I want. But thank you for stopping by, miss. What's up, Alex? Says, Chris, what up, man? Do you think Eric Jones and or Austin Dillon can be serviceable in DraftKings cash games? Thanks, and I'm going to assume best of luck. Eric Jones is definitely. Austin Dillon's not a cash play today for me, starting in 10th. There's a lot of risk there. I know he was cracked last week. Don't see that happening again. But Eric Jones, yeah, he's one of my favorite cash plays today. Starting at 28th, he should be like a 15th, 20th place car, I'd imagine. So, I'm up for that one. John says, Bella's going to be the guy who's 5% on goes off. He always is. It does happen quite often. It does. I feel like at Michigan, though, we can get away with it, but like if it's not Hamlin and Larson, I am really hoping it's Reddick. That's my hope. We'll see, though. He brings some of that Charlotte star power. Christopher Bell was amazing at Charlotte. See, though. They Palma says they don't call him 2 Mile Cow for nothing. I agree. He should definitely be fast today. Andrew says, pivot the higher owned up front or the higher owned PD plays. It's probably easier to pivot away from the guys up front just because I don't think anyone has a great grasp of who's going to dominate. Like, yes, we think it'll be Hamlin. We think it'll be Larson. It could probably be Reddick, but I'd say it's almost equal for Reddick compared to like Larson and Hamlin to be able to dominate. I'd rather probably get different up there because it's hard to get away from Dinger and Jones and those guys because I don't really know who else you're going to go to. So instead of going Hamlin Larson, you could go Larson Reddick or Larson Elliott if you want, Larson Byron, something like that. Any combination works. Jake says fade Truex and smile. Usually you are smiling after that. Usually. I'm not going to do it today. I know, I understand. I understand how it usually ends, but I'll be doing it. What's up, Zan? Says, can Gibbs win today? I mean, probably not. I don't think he's going to be bad, though. I have him winning 2.4% of the time. You know, it's not zero. Not a zero. Blaney or Truex? I'll take Truex personally. Michael says, I just took Truex out of 3 more lineups to bring him from 60% to 52% owned. I don't have an issue with that. He'll probably be around 45, 50% owned today, depending what contest you're in. If you're playing cash games, it'll probably be like 90%. If you're playing single entry, I could see that being 70%. That's fine. If you want to be even on him. Bush is gone, going with Bowman. I like that. I like Bowman more. He's in a Hendrick car. He's starting, 10 spots further back, 9 spots, whatever he's starting. What's up, Pugsley? Zachary says, how long do I have to make my pick on the other video? Do it before the race starts. That's all I ask. Bowman seems like a good play today, says Michael. I agree. I think Bowman should be solid. Starting in 22nd. He's in a Hendrick car. Again, I don't know how much you want to put into practice, but I think he was 12th on his overall lap times. 8 race sample size here. He has 4 top 10 finishes. I'll take a Hendrick car around the 7K. Starting in 22nd. It's not like he qualified 22nd. It's just where he got put after Richmond. Is Jimmy Johnson racing today? If he is, he's a lock. I don't think Jimmy's been a lock since like 2016, not 2016. When was the last time Jimmy was good? I forget. But no, he's not racing today. All right, Max says, is Truex, Larson, Reddick, Dinger, Stenhouse, Bowman a good GPP lineup or too much ownership? I mean, it's pretty chalky, but Reddick instead of like Hamlin does keep you different. So if it's like a single entry lineup, it's enough. No, it says punting with Hemrick and Stenhouse to have 9,700 left for 4 spots. Definitely makes you pretty flexible because pricing isn't that expensive this week. So you could easily fit in like a Keselowski, a Buscher, and probably like a Truex, maybe even a Larson, depending on how the pricing looks there. So yeah, that's fine. Jones and Dinger now what, says Brandon? You're going to want probably 2 of these 3 of Larson, Hamlin, Truex, most likely. Obi says, can't wait for NFL season. I know it's coming soon. We'll have NASCAR, we'll have NFL, baseball will still be going on. Those of you that like college football, that'll be on, a lot of sports. Rob says, why is Ross hopping? Well, he is starting in 7th. He's $8,100, $700 over on FanDuel. I don't know how much I'm going to put into practice. First on that, 5th in the 5. You're looking at his numbers at these larger tracks. We have top 5, 3 top 10s. We have some dominator points mixed in. Like, he's cheap enough to where if he finishes in the top 10, he'll probably get you close to 40 points. He's only a tournament play, though. I am finishing at 9.8. I mean, I have him losing spots, but still looks pretty good. Only in tournaments, though. The Bull says, what do you think of this lineup? Larson, Hamlin, Blaney, Eric Jones, Stenhouse, Allmendinger. Looks pretty good. We haven't talked really much about Blaney just because you guys haven't really brought him up, but yeah, that's fine. I think a lot of people would do like Larson, Hamlin, Truex, and then Jones, Stenhouse, Allmendinger, so it's like one pivot that'll keep you different. Byron or Bowman on FanDuel? I've had that same question for myself today many times. Projection-wise, I have Byron edging Bowman out by like 0.18, so it's very close. Personally, though, even though the projection was slightly higher on him, I went Bowman just for the more floor. Hi says the audio sucks for me. I don't think anything's wrong with the audio, but if someone else has audio issues, let me know. I don't know, maybe I could fix it, but I don't think anything's wrong. Kevin says Bowman, Truex, Chastain, Byron, Larson. Vandal lineup, I'm assuming. Looks pretty good to me, though. I might have that, actually. I might have built that for one of my single entries. All right, Brandon, hear me out. It says Truex, Reddick, Elliott, Byron Stenhouse, and Dinger for DFS. If it's for tournaments, sure, Elliott and Byron will keep you different for sure. And then Reddick as well. Would it be my first choice? No, but I mean, if it follows the rules I would have, then yeah. Kenny says, great rain race. I know, it's unfortunate. Trying to see if we see anything else, but Race Weather hasn't tweeted since. Also haven't had Bob post in 16 minutes ago. Google says it is probably going to rain. I don't know when, though. Usually, though, if we do get a delay before 2:30 and we have enough time, DraftKings usually pushes their lock back. FanDuel will not, though. FanDuel will lock no matter what. So keep that in mind, whatever site you're playing on. Audio's good? All right. Maybe it's a connection issue then. Coach versus couch. Keselowski, one of those drivers. When you use him, he drops to 25th. Kills your lineup thinking he's good. Too good to be true today. I don't know, Mike. He's pretty consistent. You know, a lot of times he does drop back, but then he'll just be there at the end. But I don't really think that'll be the case today. RFK should be strong. Chastain is pretty cheap on FanDuel. You trust him for cash games. I wouldn't do him in cash games, Jackson. If it was a single under GVP, I have no problem with that, but not in cash. I'd rather go with like Bowman. You know, you get the extra, what, like 13, 14 spots, something like that. Reddick or Byron? I'll go with Reddick personally. Dion says, fake Keselowski at your own risk, boys. Last 5 DraftKings fantasy points at similar tracks: 60, 43, 82, 65, 58. Top 3 in points twice: Kansas, Las Vegas, Charlotte, Texas, Pocono. Daniel's doing my job for me. So yeah, he's been really good at these types of tracks. So if he sucks today, you know, it is what it is. But on paper, he should be good. Top 4 to win today, says Jake. I have it in order as Hamlin, Larson, Truex, and then Reddick. Those are my top 4. What's up, Spreader? Hello, Mom. Says, hey, NASCAR fam, good luck to you all. Let's go, Logano. Although didn't like what he did after last week's race after being hit. Yeah, he did almost run over a a family and child, but you know, what can I say? It wasn't his best moment. What's up, Maurice? I will appreciate you being here. Tito says spread late like normal. You know how he is. Taking after me. What's up, Astro? Hi, Chris. Let's all smash the like button. Helps me out. Really does. Andrew says, include Buescher and Keselowski in my 6 on DraftKings or leave one out. I like both, Andrew. Definitely. Love RFK. Love RFK today. Good luck to you as well, Stan. T-Phil, Wallace, Hamlin, Reddick, Chastain, and Cindric. What do you think, my guy? I mean, it's very tournamenty. You have 5 guys there, so I'm assuming it is FanDuel. I did play Wallace, even though Wallace does not project well for me at all today. I did throw him in one of my large field tournaments just because, you know, sometimes plays that I just think don't make sense, I'll throw them in those large field tournaments because that tends to what wins those large field tournaments sometimes. So I threw Bubba in one. I threw some other guys that didn't project well in a couple of lineups. That's for large field stuff, though. I don't usually do that in single entries or whatnot. Fun says Hamlin on the pole, so I'm playing him a bit. Is this the wrong assumption since it's a short race? No, I have Hamlin for sure. I mean, we would expect Hamlin to be one of the favorites heading into this weekend, no matter what. So I don't believe he's been really good at Michigan too. And if we're looking at this 8-race sample size, similar tracks plus Michigan, he's got the best average running position, the most top 5s, the most top 10s, second most downer points, only behind Larson. So, you know, on paper, he should be good. He says FanDuel lineup: Gibbs, Jones, Byron, Larson, Truex. Second lineup: Keselowski, Byron, Hamlin. No, it's Truex. I mean, they look pretty similar to mine, Yancey. So I can't say I don't like it. Jesus. I'm not sure. We'll go with Jesus. Is this race going to be postponed for Monday? I couldn't tell you that for sure. There's definitely rain in the area. No one on Twitter is saying it's raining yet, though, but it is close. But yeah, I'm not seeing anything right now. Alan says Barry. Not huge on Barry. Not huge. Is Bell a top 8 finish? I mean, I have Bell projected for 10.99 for the projected finish today, but ranking wise, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. I have him in 9. Shut up, Kev. I'd have a heart attack if they ever did that. Daniel says, honestly, think I'm just playing 75% AJ, starting 30-50 allows for so much in your lines, and I'm just going to mix and match the 5, 11, 19, and 45. Blenny and Bell left out. I'm kind of with you, Daniel. I mean, yeah, it's so hard to get away from Dinger. Like, even if he's not great today, if he just limps his way to 29th, is it really the worst thing that could be in your lineups? Probably not. Brad Keselowski's ownership, I think, probably is going to be anywhere from like 25-30% today. Jay Swift. Jay Palma says, no one from Michigan has ever won a Michigan Speedway. Michigan men Keselowski and Jones. Definitely don't think Jones is going to win here, but Keselowski has a chance. Asher says 15.9 left besides Jones and Stenhouse. What 2 drivers? Thank you. Whoever, like at around 8K. I mean Bowman, Chastain, that I think that would fit, right? Something like that. Trying to do the math in my head. Pugsley says ended on Denny, Truex, Keselowski, Bowman, Jones, and Dinger. But something's telling me to drop Truex and go with the 1-2 stack and leave 800 on the table. I don't really like love the 1-2 stack today just because there's not that many laps. Personally, for me, I would go Truex, but I'll leave it up to you. Sean says Skin's gonna shock the NFL world, I think. JD can throw darts. Yeah, he looks good. Caleb Williams looks awesome too. Like, I know it's preseason, but he looks a little Mahomes-ish. Look good. We know that offense has plenty of weapons too. Lucky Freak Sean says, I have 9,000 left on DraftKings, last spot. Who should I take? Keselowski or Buescher. One of those 2 for me. And in that order. Sounds good over here. 3 max also. Top play below 7K. For me, that'd be Eric Jones. Sean says, I'm a 55-year-old Washington fan. Yeah, I understand that, Sean. I would too. I still call them the Cleveland Indians, so, you know, whatever. Renzo says, which driver are you over on ownership? If it's off of Dinger and Jones. I'm going to be over on Chastain today. We'll see how that ends. Also, over on Ty Gibbs. Over on RFK for sure. Over on Bowman. As far as the guys that aren't like Hamlin, Larson, Truex. How about Gibbs, Buescher, Hamlin, Haley, Larson? I don't have a problem with that, Chris. I like Stenhouse, not huge on Haley today, but I definitely like Stenhouse quite a bit, Jim. King Rock Kid. I have Byron, Bowman, Hemrick, Reddick, Bubba, Truex. Seems fine. I mean, Bubba will be the sweaty piece there, starting at 5th, but I mean, if he can hang on. We have seen him have some good finishes in Michigan before. So. He says, how much stock should I put into practice since conditions were rainy? The thing is, it's kind of rainy today too, but I'm not married to practice today. If practice would tell me that Hemrick is about 25 cars better than Denny Hamlin, I don't see that being the case today. You never know. But I don't think it's likely. I mean, a lot of the cars you'd expect to be fast were fast, but you know, we were starting and stopping. We didn't really get too much long runs. Hard to put too much stock into practice, personally, for me. Still not seeing any updates based off of rain or anything. Race weather today says, we have a nice update from race weather. It says 2 p.m. update. Rain showers are about 10 miles north of the track, moving 20-25 miles per hour, and they will arrive prior to 2:30 scheduled green flag. Rain coverage is expected to diminish after 6 to 7 p.m. And he also says he thinks there's a 50 to 55% chance to make it to lap 100, knowing NASCAR will run until after 8 p.m. weather pending. If we race to halfway today, that'll just be so disappointing. I hate when they do that. No one talking about Stenhouse? I'm assuming that's a joke because everyone's talking about Stenhouse. I'm gonna have to try to get to these questions a little bit quicker. I still have lineups to build, guys. So Let's see. I lost my spot. Oh. I am not huge on Bo Wallace today. It's just the starting position really for me. John says, Brad, every time I play him, he crushes my lineup, but I haven't played him for some time. Maybe my bad luck will cancel out Truex bad luck. Hey, it might. It might. Brad's pretty consistent though. You play Larson and Hamlin together today. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Brian says DK, Hamlin, Byron, Gibbs, Chastain, Bowman, Gillen. Thoughts? Yeah, looks good to me. If it's a tournament. I mean, Gillen and Byron will be the ones that keep you different. The rest has decent ownership, but yeah, it's pretty solid. Last piece for DK Cash, Hamlin or Larson. It's tough. I have Hamlin projected higher, so I'd say Hamlin, just because he's on the front row. Better chance to dominate, but very close. And he says Hocevar gets the home field win. If you think Hocevar is going to win, you better bet on it, but Mr. Doodle says you need to work on your pump. I have freakishly large muscles. You know, stuttering John Melendez. I don't know, this guy's, I'm reading some other messages. I don't even know how to reply to these. All right, anyway. Keith Allen, Reddick and Bowman, or Kevin Gibbs for DraftKings single entry. Thank you. I mean, the price doesn't matter. Reddick over Bowman for sure. And then Kevin Gibbs or, oh, I'm assuming you mean Kez. I was like, Kevin Harvick? Oh, should be two, my bad. I'll go with Keselowski and Gibbs then. I think about Gibbs today. I like Gibbs a lot. He's one of my higher owned drivers. So definitely have a lot of him. Is this race fake today? This might be. It might be fake. Might be. It might. Sounds. It's going to be very iffy. Sounds like a coin flip. So we'll see. Pugsley says to jump in on the QB talk. How about my Steelers? We look so good. It makes me happy that you're crying, Pugsley. Just because it's Steelers fan. You know I don't like the Steelers. Of course, I got the Browns helmets in the back for a reason. Although I know we've sucked ever since I've been alive. 1998, we've won what two playoff games since then. Been in the playoffs like 3 times. It's been a rough life as a Browns fan so far. I feel about a legacy stack. I like Jones. You know, John Hunter Nemechek's iffy. I wouldn't like go on my way to stack them though. Like they filter in your lineups, yes, but I'm not trying to stack them specifically. Not huge on Suarez, which I said that last week, and of course Suarez is the one who just nails the tire strategy and ends up being just pure money because of it. Like, yeah, of course it's Suarez. Why couldn't it have been someone like Ford has won 9 in a row. They're currently plus 220 for manufacturer today. Yeah, I have my Sims have that at plus 372 to fair, so I'm off on that. I'm just lower on the Fords in general. I know they just keep winning. Keep in mind though, like 50% of those are like Kevin Harvick. He's no longer racing. They won last year. I think Truex had the best car last year though here at Michigan, but we'll see. Yeah, the radar does not look good. I agree with you. Off and on rain all day. Showers pushed towards the track. Difficult to get this race in today according to the current radar. Yeah, I wish we just had like a giant glob of rain and they're like, all right, we'll race tomorrow. Now today we're going to stop. It's going to rain. It's going to stop raining. They're going to try drying it. We're going to get the cars on the track. We're going to have to take them off. Sounds like a fun time. No problem, Jay Swift. Appreciate you being here. I really do. Man, I got to hurry up and chat here. Aloha, Chris, Gibbs, or Bowman? Aloha to you as well, CJ. Gibbs or Bowman? I will take Ty Gibbs slightly there. Your baby daddy says, Caleb Williams throws 75 yards in an entire half and Bears fans thinks he's Patrick Mahomes. He had some moments where he looked like Patrick Mahomes, but he's definitely not Patrick Mahomes, at least yet. That's for sure. But we'll let Bears fans have some fun, right? They had to watch Justin Fields play football for like a few years, and that's never fun. Mike says I call them the Garden and Indians. I think I said that right. Or Indians. I like it. I'm not a huge fan of the Guardians name. But I mean, it could be worse, I guess. At least it sounds like Indians almost. Yeah, the rookie should be good, Daniels. You should. It's a nice catch yesterday too, or whatever day it was. I would rather play Gibbs over Elliott personally. I am even fine with just leaving the money on the table. I have no problem with that. Best plays for DK Turney under 6,500. I mean, they're chalky, but I would still rather just play Sunhouse and Dinger. I'd rather get different somewhere else. Yeah, as far as I've seen, it's always been 234 Astro. Pretty sure. The dog in chat wants me to talk about his muscles, and I don't even know how to have a conversation with the dog. Mr. Doodle. I love Doodles though. Doodle looks cute. 3 max is 100% Reddick and Keselowski. All my eggs in one basket, man. 100% Reddick is very risky, but it could pay off. Good. That's the 99, not huge on Suarez. Marie says, real quick, Chris, if it rains and it becomes a shorter race, what's the best lineup? Thanks again. So there's really no way of just knowing how to build for a rain shortened race, and that might not be the answer you want to hear, but I honestly I have no idea. I don't know when it would get shortened. I don't know how drivers would pit or react to it. There's really just no way at all for me to know how to build for that. There will be less dominator points, but then at the same time, there's less time for these drivers to move forward. So I think it really just all cancels out, and I would build the same exact way, because you have no idea. Like, no one has any idea of how it would change the way the race plays out. So I wouldn't even worry about it. I would just build normal, and then I don't really see how it could affect your building much. Who would you use instead of Haley at that price? John Hunter Nemechek. Similar price. Hey, Allmendinger. I mean, Haley's not the worst play in the world, but I do have him below Corey LaJoie today, as gross as that sounds. King Rock says, Panthers fans, you were in shambles. Yeah, Panthers fans have it rough. That's for sure. Mike says, I called Gamblers Anonymous, and they gave me 2-1 that I won't make. I'm sure you took it, too. What's a good under 6,000 play on DraftKings? I'll play Allmendinger for me. Just hit my desk. I'm worried about Hamlin. Got him all 100%. I wouldn't have him 100%. Last week, felt a little bit better about that because it's a short track. It has good this weekend. Collector Card says anything worth putting money on. The only money I have on is Hamlin, but those lines are long gone at this point, and everything else looks terrible. Reddick would be the closest one I can get to if you can get him at plus 1,000 or more, but I didn't do it personally. Daniel says, Chris, to be honest, the prospect of a shortened race makes you like the idea of a one dom a lot more. Could easily see NASCAR into halfway again. That's certainly possible. It's one way to look at it, where you're just playing one instead of like jamming in Hamlin and Larson. For me, though, I just can't change the way I build off of it because you have no idea. Like, what if it just gets postponed tomorrow? We don't have full race. What if we run 3/4 of the race? I don't know. Yeah, no way to know. Yeah, Stenhouse is good for DraftKings today, unfortunately. Contest lock in less than 20 minutes. Yeah, so I'm kind of blitzing through chat because I still have to build my MME lineups. Says, in Michigan, got a light short rain and sun came right back out. Well, I'm just hoping it really just doesn't sprinkle all day, you know? If we can get like one delay and we just race the rest of the time, that'd be all right. All right, Race Weather on Twitter says, someone asked him if we think it start at 5. He says, that'll depend on how the line fills in. He's thinking closer to 6 p.m. given 2 miles of track drawing. At that point, I just hope we just move it to Monday. I don't want to do the race against the clock thing. No problem at all, Sean. Wishing you the best. Wishing you the best, sir. Sniper takes showers? No. Talking about the sniper I know, he definitely does not. Yep, see you, Jim. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you being here, Maurice. Hamlin over 37.5 laps led. I have him over personally in my projections, yes. Eric says, if it ends early, Bell wins. If the race is tomorrow, Truex Mondays it is. Yes, for sure. Yeah, Bell winning on the rain shortened race at Charlotte was one of my most tilting moments ever. I'm not that high on Gillen personally, A-Town. All right. I had a blitz through chat. Apologize. Usually I take a little bit more time, but I got to build some lineups. We have, it looks like we're going to lock no matter what at this point. So let's get our lineups in. We'll build. Hopefully the rain does whatever you want it to do, whether you want it delayed till tomorrow or if we're in a rain shortened race today. I'll root for it either way because I can't change my way I build. Just saw you here, Dwayne. Appreciate you. Says, what's up, brother? Almost didn't wake up. You just made it on my way out. I'll give you a shout out here. Appreciate y'all being here. Thanks for the donos. And next week, I guess we have Daytona. That'll be fun. A lot of fun. Then football starting very soon. All right. Appreciate you guys. And